Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Sven, and today we're going to be doing another TerraFirmaCraft tutorial. Today we're going to be learning about food preservation via the means of smoking, brining, and pickling. So let's begin with smoking, which is probably the easiest of the types of preservation methods. So first what you're going to need to do is get yourself some log posts. You can have them set up, they only need to be one block above the fire pit. You'll need one for each of these little bits of smoke rack or rope, and I did mine 3 high just for effect, but you don't need to. Then you'll need a fire pit below each, and this is wool. To get this isn't that hard. You'll need to kill some sheep. You'll get their skins. When you skin them with a knife in your crafting inventory, you'll get wool. Then what you need to do is make a spindle. So to do that, you craft a stick with a piece of clay in this fashion, and then you get a clay spindle. You put it in a pit kiln, which is where you take it, and I'll show you guys. So if you're not familiar with this, you put it in here like this, and then it'll just automatically do it. But what you do is you put 8 of this and 8 of this. It doesn't matter what kind of log, but you need to use straw. Then you light it with either a fire starter or flint and steel, and then after 8 hours you'll have your supplies. And then once that happens, the stick will burn away and you'll only have the clay bit. So you craft that with another stick, and then you get a spindle. You craft the spindle with the wool, and you'll get wool yarn. You'll need 1 yarn for each of these. And then when you take your meat, we'll get some steaks here. Oh, I have steaks in this chest. What you'll need to do is you'll need to get a barrel of brine. I put the brine in these nice pine barrels. You'll need a full barrel to do a full stack of meat, if that's how much you're going to do. Then you're going to want to wait for a certain amount of time. It's just about a day. Give it about a day. Time set day. That'll skip to the next day. And it might take a few days here. Time set night, time set day. There you go. Brined beef. I'm not totally certain of the time, but that's about where it took us. Then I'm going to need to get some water jugs. And I'm going to need to eat some food. And I'm also going to need a knife, because this pack, game mode 0, it will destroy your hunger and thirst even if you're in creative mode and you wait. So that's that. And there we go. So now that we're fully rehydrated and we have food in our bodies, we're going to take our knives, we're going to clean the beef off. Now that it's brined, we can proceed to the next part of this. I'm going to clean off my food that I'm using for nourishment. And then we're going to go back into creative mode. I just needed the crafting menu. So, next thing that you do is you take these little pieces of beef, and you're going to take them, and you'll need to have wool yarn in your inventory. You'll need 1 for each of these, and you'll tie them on. If I weren't in game mode, these would start disappearing. You'd lose 1 for each. Then you're going to need some logs for your fire. And then you're going to want to get your flint ready. You're going to light your fire. There you go. And now when this starts getting a higher heat, it'll take about 12 hours to completely smoke. It's good to have about a stack of wood ready for each of these, as it can go through about 1 log per hour. But you'll notice in a moment it'll start doing it. It just isn't hot enough yet. I may be incorrect and it may actually need to be lowered. For the sake of that, we will actually lower this. There you go. We'll put the beef back on. There you go. And Given enough time, there it is, it started up because it's hot enough now. Given about 12 hours, time add 5,000. Time add, say 10,000. Time set day. It looks like this is something that actually has to happen, so we'll leave that and we'll come back to it in a few. In the meantime, weather clear. And let's head on outside and I'll teach you guys a little bit more about some of the other methods. So here we have fresh water and salt water. You'll need both of these, as you'll need a source of each for what we're going to do. So first you're going to want to get yourself a barrel of fresh water and a barrel of salt water. We'll go over what you need the salt water for first. Actually, we need to go over what you need the fresh water for. So first, you're going to need to get yourself a barrel of fresh water. You're going to put 10 ounces of fruit into it per 1,000 MBs of liquid. So if you had a barrel, let's get one. Let's get a different one, like a chestnut. This would be good. And you toss it in here. You will get a barrel of fresh water. If we put this down, you'll see that it has 1,000 MBs or 10,000 MBs of fluid. You're going to need, let's get an apple, because this is probably the easiest one to use. There's 160 ounces of it here, which is a full stack. However, we're going to use it all, even though you don't need to. It doesn't provide any special bonus. I'm just doing that for the sake of time. But you only need 100 per full barrel. And if you, I think you actually might have to use a full, like the correct amount, because it does not appear to be working when I do that. Oh boy. I can't move. I have barrels in my inventory for days. This is beautiful. Okay. Let's sip on this water. And then what we need to do is we need to break this down into a lovely stack of 100. So you do that, you do this, and there you go. Toss this in, and if you put in exactly 100, I guess they updated, because in the past you could put in as much as you wanted and it would just waste if you had extra. But apparently that's not the case anymore. That's okay. So then you just make 100 plus 10,000, and that'll give you an output of 1,000 MBs of cider. Let's get back into creative mode. Okay, and then so what we're going to need to do next is the same thing we just did. So we'll break this down into this like we did. We'll combine our 80 with our 20. We'll get a nice 100 again. And then we'll go ahead and we will put this in here. And you just do the same thing again. And this time it'll output with vinegar. Then, once you've got your vinegar, which I believe we have in this barrel, you take one bucket of this, which I have over here, and you take your bucket of salt water, which has 9,000 MBs in it, and you input this. There goes your vinegar, and now you've got a bucket, or you have a barrel of 10,000 brine. So then, you take whatever you're going to brine. We'll take a steak. How about we take some vegetables? How about some cabbage? So we'll brine a full head of cabbage, seal that. Let's head on inside and just get back to our smoke rack so it doesn't burn out. Good, good. Here we go. You'll know that this is done when when the little ropes holding it in place turn black. You won't be able to get the string back because they'll be burned, but it only costs you 1 per. And so this will output with that, and then you can come over here. You can brine this, so we'll do time set day, and it should skip to the next day. Day. There you go. Now we have a brined cabbage. It'll cost you almost a full barrel for 160. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your vinegar, open that barrel up, toss in your cabbage, and now you can pickle it. Wait a couple more days, and now it'll say preserving instead. Now your cabbage is pickled. You can infinitely preserve it in the vinegar now. It won't really cost you a whole lot of vinegar to actually pickle it, but that's how that works. And then so we'll come inside again. And this meat, it looks like one of them might have actually burned off. I might have actually misclicked it off or something. But you get the concept. This will continue to smoke until it finally is done. And when it's done, you can cook it as normal. You can cook any food that you pickle or brine or smoke, and that'll actually make it last longer. I'm not sure if the darkness of the food has anything to do with it. I think just cooking it in general does, cooking it in general does good for the food as far as preservation. However, making the food lighter or darker will change the flavor profile, and therefore the randomized flavor profile that your character desires might be a little different. So you'll get a bonus to the food depending on your cooking level and depending on what exactly your character wants. So that's that. So this will just continue to smoke until it's done, and we're just going to end off because I've explained that sufficiently, I think. And so with that, I will leave you. I hope this tutorial was helpful to you guys, and I would like to ask you to join me in the thumbnail here. Boom. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day or night or whatever it is where you are, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.